Hello folks, hope you're doing well. It's, well, just gone 9:30 actually in the evening on the 26th of July 2022. Yeah. So I've spoken quite a bit today already. Yeah. I spoke earlier about the fact of why it's tough, painful, to be so close yet so far. I spoke also earlier about the fact that really, do I think I'm further ahead than most, or do I think I'm better? I suppose better is a more accurate point. Do I think I'm better than most? Well, if better is the word, then absolutely not. Do I think I'm technically at the moment in a higher position than most? Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that. Higher than probably 95% of people who consider themselves to be Christian. Yeah. And quite a lot higher right now, yes. Can they cover that distance far quicker than me? Yes. Well, if they have somebody who's already been there, who's gone through it, to teach them, to help them, then yes. If they have to go through the journey themselves, then they may take longer. They may be quicker, I'm not sure. It really is dependent upon you and upon what you have to go through. Dependent upon the job you have for the future, I suppose. Yeah. There is no way of actually saying that for sure. But yeah, again, it got me thinking about the fact of those 27 years. I mentioned that earlier. And yeah, and why that is always so incredibly painful to me. Thinking about that. Yeah, thinking about what I did with it and how I failed so miserably in that time, certainly considering what I had available, and what God had given to me. Well, I said before 2000, I had 2 dreams and a vision. I've been used by God also to bless someone in an incredible way, although I think that might have been just after 2000. To deliver and heal someone in an incredible way. In, I think, about 40 minutes it took. Yeah. So let's deal with the what kind of first, dreams or vision? I don't know. One of the dreams was that I was in a kitchen, and it was an old-fashioned type of table, 1970s type. Similar sort of old-fashioned chairs. Not the most comfortable, but there you go. Having a cup of tea, and then suddenly the sky started going really weird. And the people that I was with dived under the table. I didn't, because I knew what was happening. And by that dream, basically, God was telling me that I would be here when the Lord returns. Okay. Right. That's what that is. Okay. The vision, that was where I was walking. I was in Gillingham in Kent. And I can't tell you what the field was called because it's such a long time ago, I can't remember actually what the field was called. I used to walk that field all the time. Because I used to live in Gillingham but shop in Chatham. And well, there were better shops in Chatham than there was in Gillingham. Gillingham High Street wasn't very good. Not compared to Chatham, that was a far bigger town and far bigger high street. Whereas like Raynham as well was quite near, but Raynham wasn't very good as a shopping area. Most people went to Chatham to shop. And so I'd walk across the field, down into town. So you go down a path that led you past an old cemetery, and behind the DSS buildings and stuff like that. Your Department of Social Security, so all that sort of stuff. And then you go around there into the high street and do your shop and then walk back. Or sometimes you can catch a bus back or something, or whatever you wanted. At that point in time I didn't drive, so it would be buses or taxis or walk. On this occasion I was walking down, as I was coming just past the cemetery, I was looking down the path towards the DSS buildings, and suddenly I heard look, and there was somebody in a wheelchair but incredibly disabled, really seriously disabled. I've worked with disabled people in the past, and this person looked incredibly disabled, really in a bad sort of way. I think it's one of these wheelchairs where you just had the joystick, and moving the joystick got the wheelchair going. And then suddenly this bloke, skinhead, tattoos, big fella, come, and God said, he's going to pick on that disabled person. Who do you think is going to win? Yeah, right. Are you kidding me? A disabled person's got no chance at all. Then the voice said, look again, and the disabled person was healed. And my God, he was massive. He was absolutely huge. I mean, if you've seen Hathor B. Johnson, he's a big fella. This disabled person was bigger than him, and more muscular as well. And it's like, whoa. And then basically the thug who wanted to pick a fight with a disabled person looked at this man who'd been healed, head down, and, by birth, sort of thing. And God said, this represents my church. And all the disabilities are the fractions and the different religions and all the different belief systems within the church. And the devil has been picking on the church. But I'm going to heal my church. So I thought, okay, cool. Righty up. Fantastic. That ended. Then, about a year or so later, I had the second of the dreams. And I was going down, I went through a door. There was some metal steps going down. A massive tank of water. Like a swimming pool. Pretty deep. It would have been pretty deep. There was a walkway going alongside of it, right to the far end, at the bottom of the steps. So I thought, okay, go down and see. And as I got down, there was a little bit of light, sort of moonlight amount of light. Not an incredible amount of light, but you could just about see. So there was dolphins and porpoises and all other types of sea creatures swimming around. And I thought, that's nice, that's pretty cool. And then I thought, okay, walk along. So I carried on walking along, and I could see that they were sort of, okay. They were swimming towards the far end, so I thought, okay. Let's go and have a look. So, walked along, and as I got near the far end, I could see that they weren't swimming, they were being sort of pulled by the tide, and I could see fear in their eyes. I thought, well, they must be okay. There must be something, good reason for this. Well, I could just about make out that there was a big sort of hole in the far end that the water's going through and these animals are going through. So I thought, there must be another pool at the other side of that then. Kept on going there. Got to the far end, looked over, no other pool. I dropped to concrete. These poor creatures are falling to their deaths. And what someone had done, like with a can, if you cut one line, and then fold it over, that's what someone had done. It was sabotage sort of thing. Yeah. And I could still see the bit being folded over, the water coming through, and not always going through. So I crawled out, and I tried to push this thing back up, but I couldn't. I just didn't have the strength. What with the water and these creatures all coming through, I didn't have the strength to lift this thing back up again to close the gap. And as I cried out, I heard a voice saying, "This represents my people that have been led away from me. But now is not your time." I'm not saying all this to you in order to say, look what a wonderful person I am because God gave me these 2 dreams and a vision. I'm saying what a useless piece of shit I was. God gave me these 2 dreams and a vision. And what did I do with it? Yeah. I mean, on one occasion, God helped me to heal and deliver a woman from horrendous stuff. I say it was basically just me leading the woman to Him, and for Him to do things as He wanted. Wasn't very much to do with me at all, really. I've pretty much always understood that, for me to do anything, God has to be the one to do it, because, there's nothing about me that has any power. To do any of this stuff, to achieve anything. It really is God, and it's, But when I look back and I see what I achieved with what I've been given, that's why I say I can't judge anyone else. Not in any way, shape or form. I know what I was given and what I did with it, and it's Yeah. It's bad. It's a bad situation. There really is nothing good about that in any way, shape or form. It's incredibly bad. So, when I look at, When I said actually, going back months ago, that was something that was definitely of God. I mean, talking about God speaking through me and God, bringing things. There was something I said months ago that still sticks with me very much as an incredibly beautiful and powerful point, actually. That the world basically sees things that someone who gets there in a day, well done. Oh, well done. Well done. Seriously, brilliant. You got from there to there in a day. Fantastic. Someone who takes 20 years to go the same distance, the world looks down on that. But not God. No. God's the opposite. God says, you endured. You took that long, and yet you still believed you would get there. Wow. People in heaven are celebrating that person who took 20 years to get there actually got there. People on earth are saying, You took 20 years. How useless are you? Whereas God says, how incredible is your spirit. That you stayed on that path for 20 years. You endured all that was put against you. Your journey was really tough, and yet you still did it. Wow. Well done to you. I mean, that's yeah, that is such a beautiful thing. And I know that didn't come from me. Oh, I know that's so. When I say that sometimes God does share things, oh, I know He does. Oh, I know He does. Often enough? Oh, no. And again, that's down to me. Yeah. But in the end, as Father says, you were where you were, and it was impossible for you to know what you know now until it was revealed to you. And until that time, you couldn't have known. And again, knowing that is beautiful, because you look at other people, whatever situation those people are in, and you know the same applies to them. If it applies to you, it applies to them as well. And that is just stunning. That is such a beautiful thing, because you give the same grace and the same mercy to those people as was given to you. Yet I also know, for those people that have been there, in the way for 20, 30 years and look back and are incredibly disappointed, I know that. All I can say to you, if you're in that situation, is let it go. You couldn't have done any more than what you did, really. That's the reality. You couldn't have done any more than what you did. Yeah, Father said to me, quite soon after the dogs were taken, after I'd asked him who he is and who I am, he said, you've always been on the right path. Always. Yeah, right. That was one of the most difficult things for me to accept. Ever. Because according to church logic, that just doesn't make sense at all. According to worldly logic, that can't make sense. But now I know. Well, of course, look, if we're trusting in Father, if we're saying that God has known us from before we were even born, is it possible, at all possible, that God knows exactly what job you are supposed to do, and He put things in your life, and He allowed you, sometimes encouraged you, sometimes just allowed circumstances to happen, knowing that A, B and C would happen, to give you the experience and knowledge and understanding that you have to be that person that you would need to be to do what it was that God wanted you to do later on in your life? I think the answer is yeah. Well, we can't say that God is all-knowing, but then say, yeah, but He wouldn't have known. All-knowing is all-knowing, or it isn't. Yeah. Yeah, if your identity is that you are a son of God. A son of God, little a, not big A, little a, tiny a. Where it's almost, you have to get a magnifying glass to see the A. It's that small, but it's still there. A son of God. If that is your identity, then it means it always has been your identity. Always, you were always that. Even before you were saved, you were that. I say, mind blown. Yeah, but that is the point. Yeah. And this is why I said, this is what God was saying to me about what you're going to know in a year's time. It's going to, yeah, if you know it now, it'll blow your mind. I can't begin to tell you how many things in the past 8 months have completely and utterly blown my mind. See, now I'm talking as if I've been living this for a long time. No, it's pretty new to me as well. Yeah. But it's brilliant. It really is truly fantastic. Yeah. Everything about it is just wonderful because your understanding and even your nature is being changed. Yeah, I've done videos about for joy, and today I've probably done about 20 minutes of dancing today. Now I think I'm probably going to do that most days now because I don't do my walks and talks anymore. I do the talks indoors now. So that, you know, there's going to be a far better audio for the people who listen. But therefore I need to do fitness, don't I? So, and does it bring your joy up? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dancing for 20 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be 20 minutes non-stop. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. It's so brilliant for bringing your joy levels up and taking stress levels down. Just setting you on the right path for the day. Just fantastic. So yeah. Yeah, when I look at the past, basically a recap, when I look at the past, yeah, it's very painful. It still is. Have I let it go? Ish, yeah. But because I talk about the church and because I talk about where other people are, that's a constant reminder of where I've been. So have I been able to let it go completely? Not yet. Yeah, I know. I'm saying to other people, let it go. I know it's not that easy, and again, therefore, I'm experiencing that myself. You know, so maybe I can help other people with that. Yeah, when they find it difficult to let it go. Yeah. Ah, you never know. Maybe that's the whole point of why I can't let it go so easy. I don't know. It's just me, I suppose. Yeah. Ah, well, yeah. We have to see that it's God's will. So you take care. God bless. I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.